If we want a controversial topic, we can talk about skunk diet. You will not find two people or two websites anywhere that say the exact same thing. The truth is that nobody knows exactly what's the best thing for skunks because there is not the hundreds of thousands of dollars of research that has gone into skunk diets the way that they have in dog and cat. So this is what we need to do. Let's take a look at what skunks are eating in the wild. Skunks are scavengers. Almost all of their diet is insects. Sometimes they come across some animal eggs that they eat. If it's the right season, they'll eat berries, other fruits, some veggies. So basically they're omnivores, eating animal matter and plant matter, and it depends on the season and it depends what they find. So now you have a pet skunk. I'm not asking you to go scrape up roadkill off the highway or scavenge all day long to find what they're eating in the wild. But you do need to know some things about skunks to understand why I recommend feeding what I do. Skunks don't have a hinged jaw the way that dogs do, so they can't move their jaw back and forth to chew on a dog or a cat kibble, and it can be really harmful on their teeth to give them dog food. The other thing is they don't make the enzyme amylase in their saliva the way that people do. So if you give them grain-based products, it's really hard on their pancreas because that's the only place they can make the enzyme amylase. So let's look at that. We don't want to do dog or cat food. We don't want to do grainy foods. I have been working with skunks for 10 years now, and I do a lot of rescue work as well. When skunks come to me with orange or yellow fur, they've always been on either a dog or a cat food and table scraps. You don't want a black and orange skunk, you want a black and white skunk that's glowing with health. So the reason that I recommend, the things that I recommend, is based on years of following blood work on skunks that came to me unhealthy and became healthy, and also watching the quality of their coat change when we took them off of processed grainy foods and got them onto an excellent protein source, balanced diets that's really meant for skunks and replicates what they're eating in the wild. And they eat mostly insects in the wild and have a highly protein-based diet. So what can you feed at home? You can feed insects. A great source of protein and calcium is raw chicken necks. You can feed chicken liver, chicken gizzards, chicken heart. You can also feed a variety of eggs. Little skunks love quail eggs, or you can take a chicken egg. And don't forget to leave the shell on because it's absolutely full of calcium. If you don't feel comfortable feeding your skunk a raw food diet, handling things like chicken necks or even pinky mice, as an alternative, there is a natural freeze-dried diet that contains all of those essential things that your pet skunk would be getting from things like chicken necks, ground up into an easy-to-serve portion. However, do be careful of the amount that you feed. A correct volume of food for an average-sized skunk is a 1/4 cup measure. And when you put it on the plate, again, it fills that correct portion size for your pet skunk. Of course, a small amount of fruits and vegetables is great, especially berries. And we know that they need a lot of calcium in their diet, so you can buy food-grade diatomaceous earth, and to make it easy, you can take your food-grade diatomaceous earth, which comes in a bag, and you can prepare it in any shaker that you might have around at home. And basically, once you have it in the shaker, you can just sprinkle it on their diet, and it's a wonderful source of calcium that's very natural. Don't forget that if you're feeding skunks a raw food diet, that although it's a wonderful choice for them, you have to be very careful that it's an excellent grade of food because we don't want your skunk to get sick from a raw food diet either. The other thing is there's a lot of talk out there about supplements. You need to figure out, based on what your skunk is actually eating, what supplements it needs. And don't forget to share with your veterinarian which supplements you're giving your skunk. The other thing they need in their diet is a good source of fatty acids. There's lots of different ones out there, from red palm oil to olive oil, and discuss the amount and the type with your veterinarian. Finally, portion size is key for skunks. People give them huge bowls of food, and what they really need is about 1 ounce of food twice a day for your adult skunk, and your young skunk can be eating more meals or having snacks in between. Sadly, obesity is one of the #1 health problems that we see in pet skunks, and it's completely avoidable. From my point of view, the two main causes of obesity in skunks are giving a protein source that's not appropriate for your skunk and not enough protein, or giving portion sizes that are just much too large for skunks. This is an example of a breakfast skunk. It's an appropriate meal size. You can see some pumpkin seeds, some walnuts, and you can put a little bit of fruit or vegetable. Then for dinner time, you may offer a chicken neck. Don't forget to wear gloves when you're preparing the chicken neck, and if you have a smaller skunk, it would be even smaller than this, and a larger skunk could have this size of chicken neck for supper. If you have a juvenile skunk, you could also offer as a snack a marrow bone. If you give this to your adult skunk, this is an actual meal replacer. Also, as we know, skunks eat a lot of insects in the wild, so sometimes their meal will consist of insects. Here I have an average size of an insect meal for a skunk consisting of 8 worms. When you put the worms on the plate, you can see how small this portion is, but this is a normal portion for your pet skunk. Please do not overfeed your skunks.